Hi, katzcradul here. I have watched some YouTube videos this evening and read some comments that have prompted me to make this video tonight. And some of the comments that I've read are so grossly misinformed that really I can scarcely believe the people have made the comments. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to track back for just about 4 years on some of the things I have read concerning BPA and what has happened as this whole thing is unfolding. Lots of people I've read think it's just a scare and that it's ridiculous and that we shouldn't be worried about it, that we've got lots more things to worry about. Yeah, well, I think we've got lots of things to worry about because of not only BPA but all the other chemicals that have been allowed in our lives, the myriad chemicals. Let's go back to 2009. In May 2009, the Washington Post accused the manufacturers of food and beverage containers and some of their biggest customers of trying to devise a public relations and lobbying strategy to block government BPA bans. The Washington Post criticized the FDA, noting that, quote, despite more than 100 published studies by government scientists and university laboratories have raised health concerns about the chemical, the Food and Drug Administration has deemed it safe largely because of 2 studies, both funded by the chemical industry trade group, close quote. Let's go to 2010. On January 15th of 2010, the FDA expressed, quote, some concern, close quote, the middle level of the scale of concerns about the potential effect of BPA on the brain, behavior, and prostate gland in fetuses, infants, and young children, and announced it was taking responsible steps to reduce human exposure to BPA in the food supply. However, the FDA is not recommending that families change the use of infant formula or foods, as it sees the benefit of a stable source of good nutrition as outweighing the potential risk from BPA exposure. Move on up to 2011. A study by researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health indicate that BPA used in the lining of food cans is absorbed by the food and then ingested by consumers. The experiment involved 75 participants, half of whom ate a lunch of canned vegetable soup for 5 days, followed by 5 days of fresh soup. The other half did the same experiment in reverse order. Quote, the analysis revealed that when participants ate the canned soup, they experienced more than 1,000% increase in their urinary concentrations of BPA compared to when they dined on fresh soup, close quotes. That was not infants and children, by the way. They were eating soup. It was adults. Let's move down to 2012. The FDA recently concluded an assessment of scientific research on the effects of BPA. In the March 2012 Consumer Update, the FDA concluded that, quote, the scientific evidence at this time does not suggest that the very low levels of human exposure to BPA through the diet are unsafe, close quote. However, the FDA recognized potential uncertainties in the overall interpretation of these studies, including route of exposure used in the studies and the relevance of animal models to human health. The FDA is continuing to pursue additional research to resolve these uncertainties. Oh, that's very nice. The song and dance just continues. I am going to post a link to a most excellent lecture I heard today. It was by the woman who wrote and produced and even was featured in her own film entitled Toxic Baby. I saw the little documentary. It was a TED, TED. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but TED is a non-profit organization that is devoted to spreading great ideas, and they take people from technology, entertainment, design, that kind of thing, and they will let them lecture at their annual convention and even throughout the year, and they video that and then they post it free of charge on the web. And I watched this most excellent lecture today by this young woman and a doctor who was accompanying her. I think the information in her short presentation is compelling and in fact jaw-dropping at many points. In fact, when the lecture was over and the audience stood up and applauded, I found myself spontaneously applauding here at my desk. Pay particular attention when the doctor talks about the breast cancer and how the cause of that in many cases is probably exposure to atrazine, and that the same chemical companies that made the atrazine that is used on crops also makes letrozole, the drug that they use to combat the breast cancer. Very interesting. They're making money both ways, selling it to the farmers to put on their crops, and then selling the antidote that seems to stop the proliferation of the breast cancer. What a racket. Be careful where you get your information. Consider the source. Not everybody who is a prepper is awake. I hope that you will watch the video and that you will comment and let me know what you thought of it. Cat's Cradle.